If you're thinking about moving to Austin and you've been watching the market, trying to figure out if now is actually a good time to buy, this video is for you because I get this question every single week from families and professionals who are planning their move. And they want to know, is Austin a buyer's market or a seller's market right now? And what does that actually mean for me? So today I'm breaking it all down with you with the most current data available as of July 2026. We're going to talk about what the numbers actually say, what they mean for you as a buyer relocating to Austin, how to use this market to your advantage, what the outlook looks like going forward, and I'm going to give you some real tactical advice for navigating this market smartly. This is a video I wish every one of my relocation clients watched before we got on our first call together. I'm Megan Holley. I'm a realtor here in Austin and your go-to ATX source. Let's get into it. Before I tell you where the Austin market is right now, I think it's really important that you understand how we got here because context matters a lot when you're making a decision as big as buying a home. During the pandemic years of 2020, 2021, and 2022, Austin became one of the hottest real estate markets in the entire country. People were moving here from California, New York, Chicago, everywhere, and they were buying homes sight unseen, waiving inspections, coming in tens of thousands of dollars over ask price just to get a house. The median sold price in Austin peaked in around $550,000 in May 2022. It was absolutely wild if you were trying to buy a home in Austin during that period. It was very stressful and exhausting. And then the market corrected. Mortgage rates rose significantly and the frenzy cooled off. Inventory started building back up, buyers got their power back, and Austin went from being one of the most competitive markets in the country to one of the most buyer-friendly. So where does that leave us today in July 2026? Let me give you the data. As of this week, and I mean this week, I pulled the data fresh for you. Here's what the Austin area MLS shows. There are currently over 17,000 active residential properties for sale in the area. Put that into perspective, that is a massive amount of inventory. Buyers have choices, real choices. You are not competing for scraps right now. The median sold price is $450,000. Now remember, at the peak in May of 2022, that number was $550,000. So prices have come down about 18% from the peak. That means buyers are entering the market right now and they're getting a better price than they would have gotten back then. Homes are spending an average of 68 days on the market. 68 days, compare that to 2021 when homes were going under contract in days, sometimes in hours. Today, you have time to be thoughtful. You can tour a home, sleep on it, get a thorough inspection, and make a smart decision without feeling like you're going to lose if you don't sign something today. Here's one of the most telling stats of all. 54% of active listings in Austin have had at least one price drop. More than half of sellers have already reduced their price. That tells you everything you need to know about who has the leverage right now. And the sold to list price ratio is 97.5%. That means on average, homes are selling for about 2.5% below their asking price. So if a home is listed, let's say at $600,000, it's selling for around $585,000 on average. That is negotiating room. That is money in your pocket. The current months of supply in Austin is 6 months. In real estate, generally we say that 4 to 6 months of supply is a balanced market, and anything above 6 months leans toward a buyer's market. Austin is right on that line, and in many suburban areas and price points, it's well above it. Austin also currently has significantly more sellers than buyers. That is a buyer's market by any definition. Bottom line, Austin is a buyer's market right now. Not in every single neighborhood and not at every single price point, but across the metro as a whole, buyers have the power. And if you're planning to relocate to Austin, that is really good news for you. Okay, so the data is clear, but what does a buyer's market actually mean in practice for someone moving to Austin from out of state? Let me make this really concrete for you. First, you have time. That is probably the biggest shift from a few years ago. You do not have to make a panic decision. You can take the time to really research neighborhoods, figure out which school district is the best fit for your family, compare different communities, and visit Austin before you commit. That deliberate pace is your friend right now, so use it. Second, you can negotiate, and I mean really negotiate. Asking for seller concessions, things like the seller contributing to your closing costs or buying down your mortgage interest rate, these are things that were virtually impossible to ask for in 2021. Right now, they're happening every single day. I'm regularly helping my buyers negotiate thousands of dollars in concessions on top of getting the home below asking price. So that is real money. Third, you can get inspections. This sounds basic, but I cannot overstate it. During the frenzy years, buyers were waiving inspection contingencies just to compete. That was risky and stressful. Today, you can get a full home inspection, ask for repairs or credit, and walk away from a deal if something does not feel right. You have that protection back. Fourth, you have inventory. With over 17,000 active listings in the Austin metro, if you fall in love with a house and it does not work out, there is another one. That is a very different psychological experience than buying in a market where you lose a house and it might be 6 months before you find another one you really like. Right now, you have options. And fifth, new construction is especially attractive right now. Here's something really interesting about this market. New construction builders are in expansion mode, and they are offering incentives that resale sellers just can't match. Rate buydowns, closing cost credits, free upgrades. The data shows that new construction is actually moving faster than resale right now, specifically because of these incentives. If you are open to new construction, this is a really compelling time to look at that option seriously. I know what some of you are thinking right now. You're thinking, okay, Megan, the market sounds great for buyers, but what about mortgage rates? Because rates are not where they were a few years ago, and that affects my monthly payment. But here's the thing I want you to really think about. When rates were at 3%, home prices were also 20 to 25% higher. So while your rate was low, you were paying significantly more for the house. Today, prices have corrected and your buying power goes further on the home price, even if the rate is higher. And here is the strategy that smart buyers are using right now. Buy the home at today's price and refinance when rates come down. Most analysts are projecting that rates will gradually decrease over the next 12 to 24 months. So you lock in today's price, which is better than peak pricing. And when rates drop, you refinance into a lower payment. You cannot go back and buy a house at a lower price after the market recovers, but you can always refinance. There is a saying in real estate right now that I hear all the time, and it's really good advice. Marry the house, date the rate. The house is your long-term commitment. The rate is just temporary. Okay, so we know where the market is today. What about the future? Should you wait for prices to drop more, or is now actually a good time to buy? Here's what the reports are saying as of mid-2026. Most forecasters believe that Austin's price correction has bottomed out or is very close to that. The consensus is that we are heading into a period of stabilization, prices holding relatively flat or growing modestly at 1 to 3% annually rather than continued significant declines. What that means is that if you're waiting for prices to drop significantly more, most of the data suggests that window may already be closing. The homes that are on the market today at today's prices may not be available at these prices in, let's say, 12 to 18 months. Austin's long-term fundamentals are also really strong. The job market here is diverse and growing. Major employers, tech, healthcare, education, government, they all continue to expand in the Austin metro. The population is growing. The city is continuing to invest in infrastructure. These are the things that really support home values over the long term. So the picture I want to paint for you is this. Austin right now is offering buyers a rare combination of reduced prices from the peak, strong inventory, negotiating power, and a market that most analysts believe is at or near its bottom. That combination does not come around very often. Now, I want to give you one important nuance because I do not want you to walk away thinking every single home in every single neighborhood in Austin is equally negotiable right now. The market is not uniform. Generally speaking, the closer you are to downtown and the more desirable the school district, the more competitive things still are. Inside Austin proper, places like South Austin, East Austin, and some areas of Central Austin, quality homes that are priced right are still moving relatively quickly and sometimes with multiple offers. In the suburbs, some of the newer master plan communities further out, there is more inventory and homes are sitting longer, which means more negotiating room for buyers. At higher price points, say $800,000 and above, there is usually more inventory and homes are taking longer to sell, which gives buyers more leverage. At entry level price points, the $350,000 to $500,000 range, there is still a pretty solid demand and things can move faster. This is exactly why working with a local realtor who knows the specific micro markets matters so much, because the strategy for buying in Round Rock right now is different from the strategy for buying in South Austin. And I help my clients understand these differences so they can make the smartest move for their situation. All right, let's wrap up with some actionable tips for anyone who's planning to buy in Austin right now. Number one, get pre-approved before you start seriously touring homes. Even in a buyer's market, sellers want to know you are serious and financially ready. A pre-approval letter also helps you understand your real budget, including taxes and insurance, not just the purchase price. Number two, do not lowball just because it's a buyer's market. Yes, you have leverage, but coming in with an offer that is insulting to the seller can kill the deal before it starts. Work with a realtor like myself to come in with a strong strategic offer that's below asking but grounded in the data and the area comps. There's a difference between smart negotiating and losing a house you love over stubbornness. Number three, ask for concessions. This is where the real money is right now. Ask the seller to contribute to your closing costs. Ask for a rate buy down. Ask for repairs. These are all the things that sellers are agreeing to regularly in this market today. Your realtor should be doing this for you on every single transaction. Number four, do not skip the inspection ever, but especially right now when the homes have been sitting on the market longer. Get a thorough inspection, understand what you are buying, and use the inspection to negotiate credits or repairs if needed. Number five, think long term. Even in a buyer's market, you want to buy smart. Focus on top school districts, proximity to major employers, and areas with strong long-term demand. Austin is still a growing city with strong fundamentals. Buying smart today means your investment grows with the city. And number six, if you're relocating from out of state, please work with a realtor who specializes in relocation. Buying in a city you've never lived in is truly different. You need someone who can guide you through the neighborhood, the school districts, the commute patterns, and all the things that you cannot find on Zillow. That is what I do every single day, and I would love to be that person for you. So let me give you the straight answer to the question we started with. Is Austin a buyer's market or a seller's market right now? It is a buyer's market. Inventory is high. Prices are below peak, sellers are negotiating, and buyers have power they have not had in years. If you have been on the fence about making your move to Austin, the data right now is really in your favor. Now, every family's situation is different. Your budget, your timeline, your priorities, they all matter. And that is exactly why I love getting on a call with the people who are planning to move here to help them figure out what the right move is for their specific situation. If you're ready to start that conversation, I would love to connect with you. Feel free to schedule a call with me in the link below, and make sure you hit subscribe because I post every single week to help you move to Austin with confidence. I'll see you in the next video.